Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17
And Greyshot151 here.
and this is a movie review for Split, which is actually based
One might
off...
say a decisive movie.
Yeah.
Divisive, sorry.
Although it's based off my current trait where I actually am two distinct personalities and actually usually record reviews with two different setups. So it's me talking and then I go back with my other personality and he records the other portion and I green screen it in.
Here, watch this. Look at those special effects. They're amazing.
Absolutely, it's incredible. I also do a third personality in which I am a kitten.
And that would be her.
That
right
was
now.
perfect timing. All right.
She's like, me?
But in any capacity, Split. This is an M. Night Shyamalan film.
So first up, we're going to put there's no spoilers.
No spoiler right now. No spoilers.
Without any spoilers, thoughts. I didn't like it at all. You continue.
Okay, here's the thing. Did I enjoy watching this film? No. This was not a film that I was like, this is in my opinion. Like I never like in the sense like, oh, this is so enjoyable. I'm gonna go watch it again. I'm not probably ever gonna watch this film again. Is it a good film though? Yes. I still will put it in a good film category because of James McAvoy's performance and the overall and how everything kind of went together. But here's the thing.
Not split apart.
Yeah, not split apart. But here's the thing. It's very, again, like my brother said, this film is going to be very divisive. There's a lot of good buzz right now. And I think, because for things we can't say, there's a reason for that good buzz. But then if you also look at people's reaction to it.
I want to say so much right now. I want to say so effing much right now.
If you look at people's reaction to it, it's also kind of split funny. And it's like, why is that? Well, without going into spoilers, again, just don't expect this film to be incredible, but also don't expect it to be terrible. I can respect this film, but I did not. It's not a film that I will probably ever watch again, nor will I enjoy. Yeah. So that's our thoughts. Spoilers above. Spoilers. Spoilers.
Okay. The fucking twist sucked. And dear God, it made no fun. Okay, so first off, this is full spoilers. We're gonna say the twist, okay?
It's a reveal, really, not a twist.
It's a reveal. Fine. This takes place in the world of Unbreakable in Philadelphia. You know, with Mr. Glass and what's his name? Bruce
Dunn. Bruce Willis, but
Bruce
the
Willis.
character's Dunn.
Bruce Dunn.
Well, he's not Dunn. He's like Deacon Dunn or something like that.
First off, this movie basically builds on something.
Yep.
It basically builds up what you think is supposed to happen. And then as the natural twist to that happens,
yeah,
it's almost as if Shyamalan was like, oh shit, I made it too obvious. Oh, I know. I'll reference an old movie and everyone will love me.
Here's my issue with the film. The film is like James McAvoy as
hell of a performance.
Like,
he's the best part of the film by far.
And it's like, oh, does he really do multiple personalities? Yeah,
yes.
He nails every single personality. Like, I can tell that's a person, that's a person, that's a person, and they're all distinct with actually different tones. Just like little clicks and stuff you see with a normal person. Like, again, even though we're twins, we each behave a little differently. He nails that really well. That is something that a lot of actors don't. It reminisces of Orphan Black, you may. Check out that show, but it's essentially one lead playing multiple characters, and McAvoy does just as good of a job as, oh my god, her name is incredibly, last name it's hard to pronounce, but it is great, and she is fantastic, but again, it kind of reminds me of that. The three main female, I guess, secondary
the
or
main
leads,
female, the one that you see in the trailer that gets sprayed when the guy's like next to him like this.
Yeah.
She's okay, and the other two are good, but but the problem is the natural. First off, the progress of this girl's character makes no effing sense to. It makes sense to a plot that it almost feels like they decided to take away. I'm hell-bent on this. I feel as if the ending was taken away.
Okay, so actually, this is not something we discussed. All right, so there's another reveal. There's 2 reveals. Mm-hmm. The second reveal is the more you watch this, you're like, okay, there's something up with her. Like, because she's acting very distant, and she's not like the other girls. And even the other girls were like, well, I didn't want to invite her, but I invited her to my party, and because I didn't want her to be blasted on social media as the only person not show up. But there, she's the only one, like, not talking. Everyone else is enjoying themselves. And you're wondering, what is going on here? Anyway, the more you watch it, the more like, okay, maybe she's co-conspirator. But then you keep going, and you realize there's flashbacks to her as a kid, and with her father
and her uncle.
And I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, these it clicked in my head as soon as because again, they talk about going hunting. As soon as I said that, I'm like, these 2 abducted her, and they're holding her hostage, and they're messing. But then the father started acting too nice, and then the uncle started acting very weird. I'm just like, no, there's something, like, I'm still right, but there's something else going on here. And then there's a reveal that the uncle is essentially kind of fondling like her and acting like animals in the park away from the father. In any capacity, eventually the father dies, and she has to live with the uncle who has been doing this to her. Anyway, at the end of the movie, after the James McAvoy character, which is, again, I don't even want to say a name because he's like, while he's in beast mode, which we'll explain that in a second, doesn't kill her because she's imperfect. While the other 2 girls were asleep and perfect. Asleep as a person who doesn't awaken their abilities, has a perfection, where she was imperfect, at least in my mind. And the reason that I guess the James McAvoy character was able to achieve this beast mode out of the personalities was he thought it into existence as a personality, and that took over him, and he allowed that to essentially manifest itself and actually alter his body to be bigger, taller, stronger, to where he's able to knock out doors, climb on walls, be resistant to blades and gunfire. And it's again, it's interesting. So like, your logic has to be very like, okay, what is going on here about this?
Can I come in now?
Yes, that's okay. That's the whole movie. At the reveal at the end, it's like they mention him, they mention Mr. Glass, and Bruce Willis shows up to say hi real quick. But go on.
First off, the ending is bullshit because the only thing it explains is the ability of how the character gains the ability. But the problem is with Unbreakable. Like, I remember Unbreakable. The story basically.
By the way, with the flowers on the what is it? The flowers on the track. I thought that, I'm like, why is he putting flowers on the track? I think that's supposed to be a premonition to he lost maybe his mother or someone in the train crash. That was Unbreakable, the train that unlocked Bruce Willis's powers from Mr. Glass. That's what my assumption was. And then he awakens himself on a train, similar to how Bruce Willis did.
Unless trains are semiconductors for superpowers.
I don't get that either, but yeah.
Here's my counterpoint, and this is the thing. The movie almost seems like, for me, maybe this is insane, but I saw a completely different story being unfolded. Because first off,
that's the story, and that's the story that most people take away. What is, again, movies can have multiple interpretations. So what is your story?
Okay, here's the note that I have. First off, it makes no sense for him to have this power because he's also supposed to have a weakness. In Unbreakable, it's basically said that Mr. Glass and
Wouldn't the multiple personalities be the weakness?
Hold on. You have Mr. Glass and them. Both were opposites.
Yeah.
Both were eventually found each other, and both were basically the complete opposite. But one had superior strength and was invulnerable. The other one was completely breakable. But they were both weak to something. Water. Fun fact. So were aliens, apparently. That's another movie. Any case, what I don't like about this movie is, first off, The guy didn't have these abilities. Bruce Willis had this superhuman ability for always.
Yeah.
Mr. Glass had this always.
Yeah.
He didn't. He didn't have, like, this guy had his powers awakened by a traumatic incident. But Bruce had it always. He got in a car crash and wasn't hurt. He never got sick. There was a pre-built up to this. Why didn't he, as a kid, unleash the beast, quote unquote, and murder his mom after all the trauma?
Again, we have no idea.
Exactly. That's the problem. It's like this big twist. Like, oh, they're superpowers. It's like, no. The movie almost feels like that was shoved in at the end because he was like, okay, I need this to make money because I want to make more movies. Because M. Night Shyamalan, I'm sorry, I've lost full faith in you. I should have done it. I don't know why I saw this movie because with Last Airbender. But my note is, yes, the cinematography, the editing is great.
It was a lot more than Last Airbender, but go on.
The shots are great. Like, the camera work is great. The characters are good. The therapist.
She was
James
good.
McAvoy, both of them were great.
Like, every single person put in a decent performance in this film, and every single little thing that they show or do in the film is kind of explained. Even the jackass security guard, he's like, "I need help," and the security guard's like, "You're just playing with me." And literally, she's crawling. She's being assisted by another person out of the area she's being held, which is the Philadelphia Zoo.
Hold on. First, I also want to make note. If someone's freaking crying out, one would think that police actually, go out.
I'm very surprised that they didn't do a sketch. Like, the father said, he was okay. Maybe it was hit from behind. But we saw the father look at the guy because he's like, "Can I help you?" So you figure that he would be like, "Can we get a sketch artist?" Because the first 24 hours is very important for an Amber Alert. Okay, here's the guy's face. You see this? Hey,
Also, you think the
person on news, air this so we can find them. Psychiatrist sees that, recognizes the face of 23 other personalities. Like, I think he has a personality that is interested in young girls with very curvy bodies. So let's maybe go check out his workplace.
You know what the other note would be? One would think that the three girls' names would be put out, so maybe when she's on over the phone and a security officer.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. What do you do? You're a correction officer, right?
Yes.
And what do you usually have on?
We get email. Fun fact: typically, an officer. I don't know if this is a thing, but at least in my position, I'm not a police officer, but I'm a different type of officer, and even in my line of work, when there's something like that, or there's a kind of announcement, it's sent to everybody, so that way any person who works within the criminal justice system is notified about this incident. So even if you are supposedly a security guard for a zoo, you should at least be updated on that stuff, or have some type of notification. I don't know, again, that's for every city and every sect, but that's so far my research and my personal experience.
The other note is, they played into this fact that...
Especially when you're giving a full name. It's like, maybe I should Google search that name. Oh, that person was abducted. It's on the news. It's on my cell phone. It's an Amber Alert. Oh, shit.
Yeah, so... those are the plot holes I noticed. But I was able to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to ignore them. Because the movie was that convincing. And yeah, it had a few good funny moments. Had a good moments.
Yeah.
Again, the girls also...
There was never a moment that, scared me.
There was... the girls were also...
It was a lot of tension, but nothing...
The girls were also kind of stupid in the fact that, again, why wouldn't the girl attack him? Because if she... Okay, this was my whole idea of the movie. And this is where I thought it was going. And it made perfect sense to me. Is the girl... Okay, it leads to this beast, which I thought this was going to be like a werewolf movie. Basically, the guy... Yeah. It has 23 split personalities. And... the one that's going to turn is quote unquote the beast is really just is basically him turning into quote unquote a werewolf.
Yeah.
But that's why they made note of the supernatural and things of that nature. Yeah. It's like it plays into that. It's not like it's literally just literally the mind creating this. And I liked the implementation. Yeah. Like the fact that he was built and he was able to take bullets like that. Okay, I got it. What I then thought was then they cut to the moment where the hunter, the uncle, and he also makes note of your dad. When I told my dad, he died of a heart attack. He mentions that his father died when he told him of a heart attack. And
I think it's like your father died of a heart. What did he say?
He said my dad died of a heart attack when he found out too.
Oh.
Yes, that's what I'm making note of. Why would he die of a heart attack of this girl?
I have to redo that line. I swear it wasn't that. I swear it's like, my father died of a heart attack. It's like, my father died of a heart attack
when he found out.
I didn't hear the found out part.
Okay, maybe that's just me, but that's right. I was like, holy shit. The guy wasn't fun. He realized that she was turning into a werewolf as well. That's why she was so calm and reserved. That's why she didn't let her emotions go.
Yeah.
But hold on, here's my point.
Okay.
Here's my point. That's why she didn't attack the guy, because she's like, if I do it, I'm going to kill everyone. That's why she was calm. That's why she was reserved. That's also why every time she makes note of it, like hunting, she made note, just like we have to wait to the perfect moment, and then we strike.
Yeah.
It's like she was acting like a predator. She was acting like an animal. That's why she was calm. That's why she didn't get. I can understand why she was tired. She's like, her opportunity was lost. That opportunity was gone. And
that would.
Hold on,
I'm
not
what
done.
hell. I mean,
I'm not done. I'm not done.
All right.
But also, I'm not a child attacker or anything of that nature. But usually,
all right,
if someone is in that situation, you wouldn't have claw marks like an animal all over your body, unless maybe you were. Okay, maybe.
Okay,
maybe that's just me, but I was thinking, oh my god, she's been attacking things. She's been attacking or she's fought like something else. Like a werewolf. You get. How do you get infected by a werewolf? Claws. She got somehow turned, and that's where it was going. And I thought it was going to be a fight between her and him, and he finally realizes, you're like me. And then Unbreakable would make sense. Two figures that are on different ends. But have this similar causation. That would have made so much more sense to me, and that would have been a better twist. Because otherwise, the whole incident of the whole hunting scene, by the way, isn't in any way serious. It seems like super inappropriate if they're going down that angle. Like I was like, oh my god, like the guy next to me, like he's an older guy, he's probably in his 70s, like should have shot him, and I was like, I completely agree.
That's an 8-year-old.
Hold on,
that's like an 8 or a 6-year-old or something.
But then that twister, I was like, he's not doing that. He understand, like, it's a condition that runs in the family. I'm like, oh my god. That's also why he didn't know. That's why he was also stalking the two. They kept making note of animals. I'm like, oh my god, I get this twist. And then it just shows up. No. She was just abused. She gets cut up all the time, and her.
Okay, can I do some things?
I literally was so furious. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is just an Unbreakable throwaway line. Seriously?
So, my issue is, she has claw marks here and down on her stomach.
No, and here. Like, all over the place.
Secondly, it wasn't on her arms or anywhere, which would... And third, kind of a big thing is, you said at the end, like, oh, she's going to go back with the father, or, like, the uncle. No, I feel like she got the guts to spill that uncle and pretty much get the help she needs. Because I kept thinking this whole thing was behind her, and it's when you realize that she's still with the uncle, it's like, oh, I'm so... Kill that son of a bitch. Say something. So, yeah.
That's why I was also expecting, when they cut to the guy in the abandoned park, and he's like, we're going to do great things, I expected the uncle to come out and literally grab his head and smash him through a wall. Like, I expected, they also cut... They have a lot of imagery in this film. They had the imagery of the lion and then the lion on top of it. Yeah. I literally thought the ending was going to be the uncle.
The uncle chasing him down.
The uncle, doesn't chase him down, just tears him apart.
Yes.
That's what I thought was going to be the ending. He's like, there's nothing that can beat us. And then just, showcase. And it's going to end with him with the glass mirror, just like with the uncle, like raging out, like you did this. Like, that's how it would have been such a much better ending. I could see the workings, and it was just like,
here's my problem.
Oh my god. Yeah,
I agree. I agree that if you did it correctly, you could have had it be a little bit more impactful. But
how it felt, it just felt like,
yeah,
you're hurt and damaged.
You're right.
Like, no, you're not.
You're right.
You're not. I mean, yes, she is hurt.
The ending didn't feel like an ending, if that makes sense. It just felt just like there should be another chapter or something else.
Maybe that's the biggest thing I'm feeling. I'm trying to make up a story that makes sense for a movie that doesn't want to make sense.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just my note. Because that's why I like storytelling is about telling a cohesive story.
Yeah.
And one that's, layered. And M. Night Shyamalan, one of the things in his early works, they were layered, there was deep, and the twist got you not because it's because you liked the situation that was going on and you understood the situation. My situation was I had to make sense of everything that was going on, and that just kind of at the ending it tried to explain everything, but at the end it just dropped the ball, and it's like it was just so disappointing in my regard. Yeah. I'm sorry, I've been ranting, but again, I honestly want to know, like, was the movie changed? Because I honestly I was like, if it ended my way, I'd be like, Shyamalan, congratulations, you deserve. Yep, this wasn't a twist, but it was like, it was, and a lot of plot points to it. It was I can agree to that because I could understand this. We could even tie it Unbreakable with the fact that like it's just superhumans or something. I would have understood that, but it was just like yeah. Also, the other note is the woman said only those with these dissociate disorder had the ability to become this more powerful, but she didn't have multiple personalities. She wasn't impure. She was just again in the situation of the movie. Yeah, she was just apparently molested by her uncle. Which yes, she's broken, but she doesn't have multiple personality disorder.
But she might eventually. I don't.
Again, there wasn't if she would have had I was waiting for something, but it never showed up. In fact, the wrong guy showed up at the end to explain it. And I was just like, get out of here, wrong movie.
My thing about this film is it's very well made. It connects, but I agree with you where it feels like there's something missing, and my portion of the story and your portion of the story
are trying to make sense of this.
Yeah, could make sense of it, but it needs a final piece that I just feel like is missing for a conclusive movie. I'm debating on whether you should see it or not.
No, don't.
He says no.
I say, what's the sequel gonna be? Bruce Willis versus
old Bruce Willis versus James McAvoy.
Big surprise. I'm not really too. Bruce Willis. Did you see Die Hard 5?
Oh, yeah.
He is not in any shape to do any type of action.
Right.
They can set up the universe, and maybe he's found another. But basically, the ending just wasn't. The ending wasn't coherent, and it didn't have a necessary wrap-up. It just fell flat and died. It's like you could see the greatness, and then the curtains pull back, and you just see a homeless man who's just got a child's book, and you're just like, why?
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. That was just random.
Gonna be
but
different
I'm just
for
saying,
every single.
It felt random at the end. It was just like. This was supposed to be a good piece of artwork, and what I see is just crudely stitched together weirdness. It just didn't work.
But that's our thoughts on this movie.
To be honest, I disliked it more than Suicide Squad.
Are you serious?
That ending was... Suicide Squad had me disliking it as soon as I walked out. This one had me hating it as soon as I walked out. This is probably my least favorite film so far of 2017.
I love how we go from... I'm sorry, but also when we entered the theater, it was filled. Mm-hmm. Not filled eventually when the movie started. But I love how we went from last time to where we were the only people in the theater, and it was a fantastic movie. To everybody was in the theater, and it was a terrible, in your eyes, a terrible movie. I think it's an okay movie.
Can I make a comparison?
Yeah.
This is very much like Full Metal Alchemist versus Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Really?
Hold on. Here's my explanation. Both have the same story.
Yeah.
Both of ours have the same story. One sticks the landing. The other one kind of falters.
Yeah.
In a sense. It's still an ending. But they had to get up. But it wasn't an ending that was satisfactory. They had to make a movie that had another movie to explain it.
Yeah. And
that's what this kind of feels like. This kind of feels like, this kind of feels like The Hobbit with Desolation of Smaug. You'll get the ending in the next movie. Don't worry about it. Yeah. And it's just like, no, you don't get to do that. I'm sorry, I am very mad.
This has been going on for nearly 25 minutes, so I will bid you guys adieu. It's been Greyshot 117
and Greyshot 151
telling you to maybe really don't see
Split.
We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys next time.